This is a strategy that we have taken on a number of cases successfully for clients of our firm. They become aware that somebody's making an allegation against them. We reach out to law enforcement and say, hey, before you arrest somebody, before you incarcerate them, before you ruin their reputation, why don't you give us a chance to provide you our side of the story? And that has two benefits. First, it shows law enforcement that my client's not going to run, that they want to participate in the investigation, and that they don't have anything to hide. Second, it creates a very real opportunity before the media has gotten a hold of a case, before my client's life has been ruined, and before that one-sided narrative gets really ground into law enforcement and prosecutors, to present the other side of the story. And frequently we are able to avoid charges altogether because that investigation is conducted. It's turned over to the decision makers who decide whether to indict a case or to reject a case. And the reality is that investigation shows reasonable doubt at a minimum, and sometimes actual innocence. And when we have those situations, we find those to be the biggest of successes, because our client never has to face that indictment, that charging instrument that really can damage an individual's reputation. So why were these individuals not charged? I think probably because a thorough investigation revealed that there wasn't enough evidence to convict them. And the consequences of bringing a criminal indictment without probable cause was too damaging to the prosecutors and the law enforcement officers who might have been pursuing those charges in the first place.
Wow, that's really great that you're able to do that for your clients, because, boy, as we've discussed in some of our past interviews, you can't undo the damage of someone's reputation sometimes, no matter how much you try, and no matter how much it's apparent that charges were dropped. Once you plant that seed in the public's mind, it's just out there, and it may really have a lot of damaging effects on somebody's financial, personal, family life, all aspects. And so that's really fantastic that you're proactive when you get a case like this, in making sure you control the investigation to start, and you can almost prove that it's a big waste of time, if it is in fact a big waste of time.
Exactly, Erica. And to be perfectly candid, we have had situations where our investigation revealed that these charges were appropriate. And in those situations, we were able to work with our client very early in the process to, again, start that mitigation. We want to engage in behavioral modification to make sure that that individual doesn't commit that crime in the future. And then when the case does open and when they get before a judge, we can show the judge that they don't need to lock this individual up in order to teach them right from wrong. We have already done that for the judge. And so then what we're only talking about is what's the appropriate level of punishment.